All right, so today we're going to be talking about the crypto pulse chain. And we got a lot to discuss in this video, so we're just going to get straight in with it. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice, but let's talk about this because pulse chain has a pretty big ecosystem that is building and it's really going under the radars right now. So this right now that we're looking at is Dex Screener. And if you look over here, you see there's a lot of different things being built on top of pulse chain right now, a lot of different pairs, a lot of them, right? Now, I will say a lot of the pairs here you don't want to get in on, right? It's only the top ones that you really want to get in on. A lot of these different pairs, they're going immediately down to zero. They're immediately getting like rug pulled. Like a lot of them are immediately going to zero, right? So a lot of these you really don't want to be looking at here. You really just want to look at the top ones here. And that's why I have this pulled up because there's a lot of these ones that are very good, like obviously Hex to wrap the pulse. That would obviously be good because Hex is like the main thing, which everything started from. And then it goes all the way down to Pulse here because now you have the Pulse chain and then you have Pulse X under that. And you have other things being built under it like DAI and then Atropa. So there's a lot of different things that we have to discuss here. And it'll probably be made in a lot of different videos. I'll be doing more videos on this because I think that Pulse Chain has some good potential here. And I'm seeing a lot of different opportunities inside of the Pulse Chain. So we're just going to kind of go over the Pulse Chain ecosystem here. And then we're going to, make other videos on these different pairs separately, the good ones. Because there are ones that you don't really want to get in on. Like, right, if you scroll all the way down here and you look, like you don't want to get in on this one that shows those square boxes and then rabbit pulse. Like you can already see down 98% in the last 24 hours. It's obvious that some of these you really don't want to touch them, right? And that's why we'll talk about that later on in a different video. But in this video particularly, we're just going to talk about the ecosystem here for Pulse Chain, right? So Pulse Chain has a lot of good things going on. So as you can see here, this top pair here with liquidity, by the way, is Pulse X to wrap the Pulse. Now this one has $19.5 million inside liquidity, which is a lot. And then fully diluted value is at 1.34 billion. So this one is obviously a good one. It's Pulse X to wrap the Pulse. This is the main one. And then the second main one you have is Hex to wrap the Pulse. And this pair here is $14 million for liquidity and then 4.13 billion inside of fully diluted value because Hex is valued very high. And then the third one we have here is Wrapped Pulse to DAI. And as you know, the stablecoin DAI on Ethereum, this is the different one, which is PDAI, which is the Pulse Chain DAI. So it's the PDAI. And what they're trying to do with this is getting it up to $1. So then they can have it as a stable coin, right? And that's why they're having this with Atropa. They're pairing it with Atropa to try to get it all the way up to $1. Now, there's a lot more that goes in on this, and we're not going to go all the way in depth with this, but they're trying to push this PDAI all the way up to $1, right? And currently at the moment right now, if we want to look at this, the PDAI to Atropa pair here that we have is at 0.001886. And they're trying to get PDAI all the way up there because Pulse Chain needs a stable coin, and that's why now they're making PDAI as the stable coin. So right now they're trying to push it to 0.0. They're trying to push it up to $1, and right now it's at 0.0016. And as you can see, it started all the way down here at 0.000034, somewhere around there, actually around the 2.5 area, give or take. It started somewhere around there, around the bottom, right? And it has been going ever since June. It's just been going straight on an uptrend here ever since June, having some pullbacks. So it's projected to reach $1, which is why I'm talking about this, because this is a very good opportunity. This is the main pair here that I really want to discuss, and we're going to be making other videos about this main pair. So definitely hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. We're going to do a lot of different videos and a lot of discussions, even live streams on this, so then we can get all the questions out the way and we can go ahead and really hone in on this, because Pulse Chain is such a new blockchain. It's such a new ecosystem that everybody's flocking over here. This is going to be like the next big thing, and that's why we got to really talk about this. So this is Pulse Chain is like Shibarium if Shibarium was released earlier on in the project, right? Shibarium took too long to come out, but Shibarium is going to be very, very big once once the bull market starts picking up. And that's kind of where Pulse Chain is now as well. Pulse Chain was actually released during the bottom of the bear market, which is where we're at now. So since Pulse Chain was released at the bottom of the bear market, it really hasn't, had the full force of a bull market behind it. So now as we move into the bull market going towards the 26th of April of 2024, which is the Bitcoin halving. After that happens, everything's going to ramp up. Everything is kind of being built into place now. So when that time comes, Pulsechain will have the full force of the bull market behind it to make it rise. So what they're trying to do is push PDAI to $1 before then. So then Pulsechain has its own stable coin before the actual bull market starts to ramp up. So that's why we're seeing the ecosystem here doing so well. You can look at the 24-hour period here for all these pairs. Now, some of the pairs you just don't want to mess with, right? I'm going to be completely honest. Some of them you do not want to mess with. When you start to get down here to the lower ones, like you just start to see some of these, you just don't want to mess with them, right? Like if you look at the lowest liquidity ones, like, yeah, you don't want to touch any of these. They're all scams, honestly. But if you were going to be looking at the higher liquidity and the fully diluted values for these, those are the ones that you want to look at. And the main one here is DAI to Atropa, or you can just buy DAI by itself or Atropa by itself. You can do Atropa to DAI, but primarily that's what you really want to look for here. And it's doing very good. If you look at all these different gains here, I actually bought some yesterday and it's actually up a lot. I bought the DAI to Atropa pair. So that's the one we're going to really talk about a lot here because that's the one with really, really big potential. Because if you think about it, if DAI gets up to $1, you also have to think about, how much money you're putting in. Like if you're putting in $500 right now, you're getting a lot of money, like give or take over 200,000 DAI, which will be obviously 200 something thousand dollars if you're just getting DAI. I got the DAI to Atropa pair, and DAI doesn't become a stable coin at $1 and stable without Atropa. So that's really what's going on here. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes that we can talk about, but that's going to be for a different video. Like we can get really in depth with this, but it's probably going to take like a whole hour of discussion. So if we're going to do that, we got to do it on multiple videos or just a live stream because it's a lot. It's a lot of information put inside of one video. But yeah, because most of the people will drop out the video earlier on. Let's be honest, most people don't have long attention spans. But if we're just going to be looking at this, though, this is a pretty interesting post to wrap the post. As you can see, it pretty much just started back in May, and that's when Pulsechain has launched now. But if you look at this, like, obviously it's down because we're in a bull market, but imagine if Pulse has the full force of the bull market behind it. I could foresee this at 50 billion market cap, 100 billion market cap. Right now it's only at 1.34 billion dollar market cap. Liquidity right now is at 19.5 million dollars, but at a 1.34 billion dollar market cap, it has a lot of upside potential. If you think about it, this project could possibly 100x, and that's a huge possibility here. And it could 10x, it can 100x, whatever you think is possible, it could do that. 10 billion inside of market cap obviously is easier to reach than 100 billion in market cap, so a 10x could definitely happen for this next bull market. So if you think about it, it's still a good bet here, and I definitely think this is a good pick here for the next bull market. Now, what we're looking at here in this one over here, this is the DAI to Atropa pair. This is the pair that I went in ahead and got in on. And if you look at it, it's doing pretty decently here. And I have a little bit of a Fibonacci here set up so we can just keep tracking this. And just to spread this Fibonacci out a little bit more here. So yeah, if we're looking at this now, we did just not get rejected up here at this resistance, but it should be coming back up very soon here. So it's pretty interesting because when we dropped down below the support, it didn't want to stay below that support at all. It almost immediately came back into here. So, that is pretty important to look at. And as you can see, I'm just I'm messing with this over here so I can have bigger drawings. But yeah, doing pretty good here as for the DAI to Atropa pair. So, it is what it is. If you want to go ahead and check it out, definitely check it out. I'll do more videos on this where we talk about it and we go over this more in depth because obviously it's a lot to put inside of one video, like I was mentioning. But if you look down here, there's a lot of whales trading this. There's a lot of buys and sales going on. A lot of people are making a lot of money. Actually, if you look here, what's really interesting about Dex Screener, it'll actually show you the profits that the whales are making. And then these ones are called dolphins because they don't have as much money. Like this person makes 587 here for their trades. And it just shows you how much these whales are really pocketing in for these trades. And there was a trade yesterday that I was looking at. Like this one right here, they made $7,000 from 68K to 75K. There's this one here. They went from 14K to 23K. So they made $8,000. This one here is a smaller one. This one here is another whale. They went from 77K to 99K. They made 22K inside of this. Um, so yeah, that's a lot of money that they made. And yeah, they've only been holding. They've been a holder since 29 days ago, as you can see, as it says there. It says 29 days ago. So 29 days and 23 hours. So another whale, 14K to 23K. That's 9K. They were in for they're a holder for 24 days total. This one right here is a big whale. This whale came in 198K to 252K, which is 53K total. So these whales are doing a lot of transactions here. And yeah, they're just doing a lot. They're making a lot of money on these different pairs. And yeah, this is definitely a good opportunity to get in on this and also benefit from these pairs. Now, a lot of people, they got in really early, so people are speculating that they're the ones that are selling out right now, and that's why we just now seen that whale that just now made $53,000 in a time span of like 24 days. They're selling out now, and some others are also selling out, but not all of them are selling out here. So the next pump should bring it above this area here, and then we'll have to make another Fibonacci retracement from there, so then we can keep following it. But all in all, I think this is a good option here. Diatotropa pair that's on Pulsex. If you want to get on Pulsex, you'll have to bridge to the Pulse chain from Ethereum, and that's actually pretty simple. Let me close that. I don't want to bring that up right now, but it's actually a pretty simple process here to get Pulsex from Ethereum. So you would pretty much just bridge over here. You would bridge Ethereum to Pulsechain. Obviously, your Ethereum would be up here. Your Pulsechain would be down here. But yeah, you would bridge Ethereum to Pulsechain, and then it'll pretty much give you the option to get wrapped Ethereum here. And then you would just click your wrapped Ethereum, and then you'll have wrapped Ethereum on Pulsechain, and then you would transfer. And you would also need some Pulsechain for the transaction fee when you're doing the bridge as well. And there's actually an option to get that, and you can actually, I forgot what the website was, but it was a website where you go to it and it literally gives you a little bit of Pulsechain. Like it's like a thing where they gift you a little bit so that you can get in on it. But when I make the full video, I'll go ahead and show you all that. I forgot exactly where that one was, and yeah, I'll have to find that one just to see exactly where it is. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. And yeah, it's pretty easy to bridge over to Pulsechain from Ethereum. It's just like any other thing, any other bridge. So if you know how to bridge, then that's good. If not, I'll make a full video on that, because like I said, this is hours and hours worth of content that it would take us to describe everything and what's going on with Pulsechain, how to bridge, and all that other stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff going on here. But also we have the PulseX info here. So lots of money flowing in PulseX. $84.72 million just inside of PulseX. Pulsechain total shows 127.78 million, but I think this is off just a little bit, because even PulseX, they don't have the numbers 100% correct for PulseX, because you see they're a little bit different when you look at the liquidity, but the total value locked in liquidity are a little bit different on both of these. But all in all, it's a pretty good option here, and the volume right now is at 8.88 million, and you can look over here. So is the volume at a different amount at 15 million. So it looks like it was a little bit off, but yeah, there's a lot of different things being built on Pulsechain. So I think this is probably going to be a good option for the next bull market. So yeah, that's pretty much what this is about. And then eventually we'll just start to talk about this more, so then we can have a better discussion with more people here, and we'll get a whole live stream for this. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you think this is a good option, if you like Pulsechain, if you think Pulsechain is a good option. And also, if you want me to go ahead and make a video on how to bridge to Pulsechain, let me know that in the comments as well. And yeah, just let me know if you all need help with anything, getting over to Pulsechain, all that good stuff. But yeah, this is pretty much all I got for you all today. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. As always, I'll be back with another video.